question before Court Helicopter is, can a broker, can an estate agent enter into a lawful buying or selling agreement on your behalf? Can you do that? Many of you have bought land and the sale agreement is between the owner of the land and your broker. Do you know that is an illegality? There is no law that allows a real estate agent to enter into a sale agreement. Get this from me very clearly. The law does not allow a real estate agent, a land broker, to enter into a sale agreement. Have you signed your lease agreement with the owner of the land, or have you signed your lease agreement with the agent? Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer. We are bringing you issues that really affect you. Especially this episode deals with the people who are abroad, who are out of the country, the diaspora investors. You are not here in this country, but you want to buy a property. You don't instruct your mother or your brother or your sister or your wife or your husband or your friend because you think they'll steal for you. So you get a broker or a real estate agent and tell him, I will look for land, enter into agreement with the owner of the land, and purchase for me this. Many of you have been swindled that way. The question before Court Helicopter is, can a broker, can an estate agent enter into a lawful buying or selling agreement on your behalf? Can you do that? Yes, you have appointed him. Can he sign an agreement of sale of land on your behalf? Many of you have bought land and the sale agreement is between the owner of the land and your broker. Do you know that is an illegality? There's no sale agreement there. You are losing your money. There is no law that allows a real estate agent to enter into a sale agreement. Get this from me very clearly. The law does not allow a real estate agent, a land broker, to enter into a sale agreement. The estate agent, the broker's role ends by getting you together. That is their job. They cannot enter an agreement with the owner of the land. This is what the question was in this case, where in ELC number 1111 of 2016, the broker entered into a sale agreement. This broker was licensed. He is licensed. He entered into a sale agreement on behalf of his client. And he paid. But the dispute went to court whether a broker, a land estate agent, can enter into an agreement with a owner. Remember, he has no power of attorney. We did this episode in court in our channel here, Court Helicopter. Unless the broker has a power of attorney, and that power of attorney must be registered, he cannot do that. This question, as we have said, what did the judge find? The judge found out in paragraph 30, I'm not aware of any law, and none has been pointed out to me, which allows a person such as a broker or a real estate agent to sue on behalf of an individual who claims to have purchased land. My knowledge of the law is that if such a person is to sue, then he requires to have a power of attorney donated by the purchaser. This is because the rights passed by virtue of purchase of land vests in the purchaser and not on any other person. And it is such purchaser who is empowered to sue and to be sued. None of the authorities that were preferred to me by Wakili for the plaintiff address this basic but significant legal position. Mr. Dubi attempted to argue that the sale of the purchasers created an implied or constructive trust in their favor. Well, if that is what is argued to be the case, then it is in this purchase to come to court and try to present that position, after which the court can then determine whether they actually qualify to have such orders granted to them. It is not the plaintiff in this case to sue on their behalf unless he holds their power of attorney. For that reason alone, this suit by the plaintiff is a non-starter and must fall. So the question is, can an estate agent, can a broker then go to court and sue on your behalf as the owner of the land? No. Very many people in the diaspora have gone to court through the estate, the people who introduced them to the purchaser. The courts have said a real estate agent, a broker, cannot sue on your behalf. And that is the position of the judge. In paragraph 36, it says, it also emerged that the plaintiff, who is a broker, did directly enter into a sale agreement with some of the purchasers. That is utterly out of place. The judge is saying that is utterly out of place. Even assuming that the broker was a duly registered agent, she had no capacity to enter into a sales agreement with a purchaser for land that it did not own. The role of an agent, and this is very clear, Vivian brought this very, very clear. The role of an agent is to look for customers so that the buyer and seller can now enter into a written sale agreement for the property being sold. The role of agent, and I repeat, the role of the agent is to look for customers. In this case, buyers of the suit land. Once an agent gets a buyer, what the agent is supposed to do is to refer that buyer to the seller so that the buyer and the seller can now enter into a written sale agreement for the property being sold. The agent has no capacity to purport to enter into a sale agreement with a purchaser unless such an agent holds a power of attorney that allows him to deal with the seller's land. It was completely wrong for the plaintiff, that is the broker, to purport to execute a sale agreement on behalf of the defendant without holding any power of attorney. It is critical that agents understand and stick to their roles, and an agent should never attempt to elevate himself or herself to the position of the owner of the land. So the question here, the lessons are, have you signed your lease agreement with the owner of the land, or have you signed your lease agreement with the agent? If your lease agreement is signed by the lease, by the not the landlord, that is paper. The agent's role is to show you the house. You enter the lease agreement with the owner. I know very many will be shocked that they have a lease agreement not signed by the owners. You have a sale agreement of land not signed by the owner. Agents, you have no legal capacity to sign an agreement. Your job is to bring the buyer or the one leasing the house to meet the landlady, to meet the landlord. And the landlord is the one who enters the lease agreement, not the management or the estate management company. Wakili Danstan Omari bringing you the shocker of life. You go to court, you sue the land estate, he says, me, I don't own this property. My job ended immediately. I introduced the owner. Are you sure the landlord knows that you are staying in her house? Most landlords are abroad. They even don't know there are tenants in the house. Wakili Danstan Omari bringing it to you from Helicopter, subscribing to post 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is a big, big achievement, and we thank you for following us. Keep watching. We keep you informed on any controversial law that exists in this country.